Adding objectives and endpoints in the CPT template is controlled through the Objectives and Endpoints table. Objectives and endpoints also appear in the synopsis section and are populated based on the selections made in the Section 3 Objectives and Endpoints table. There are two ways to add objectives and endpoints inside of this table. The first way is through typing out your objective and your endpoint. Every time you enter a new objective and endpoint in the table for a section, you will need to add a new row. So I've added one primary objective and one primary endpoint. If I need to add another objective, I would need to add a new row and label as such, objective 2, endpoint 2. You can have multiple endpoints per objective. Endpoint 3, endpoint 4. The next way to add an objective into this table is through the library. So currently I've selected my diabetes library and I have the available content from this library located here. So I'm going to go ahead and select a primary objective from the diabetes library here. I can preview the data that's about to be inserted here, and upon double clicking, it'll insert into my table. I can follow the same process for my endpoint, see the data here, and double click and add. To add another primary objective, I would add so here and select from what's available. Now, we have this additional button called Add Line. If I were to check this button and begin entering several endpoints, I would notice an extra line is added when I add my endpoint. So it makes it easier to add multiple rows of data. By unchecking this box, that extra row won't appear. I can follow the same process when entering my secondary objectives and endpoints. I would navigate to the secondary section of my table, and then I would navigate to the secondary objectives that appear in my library, and then my secondary endpoints that appear in the library. Again, to add another objective, I would add another row, and then go ahead and insert another endpoint from the library. And this is how a user would enter objectives and endpoints in the Objectives and Endpoints table in the CPT template.